Happy August, everybody. Welcome to the morning CTT session with Liz Cross and Todd Ronan. Liz, how can people reach you now?
Oh, that's a good question. So we're going to go psychiclizcross.com. It's my brand new shiny website. And if you just reach me on there, you can book a reading, you can contact me, you can sign up for the newsletter. George will be writing the newsletter. And just a word to everybody, George sounded fantastic on Friday. I was so pleased for him. However, George has a lot of health problems going on right now. He's waiting to have surgery. And so he cannot take the bulk of the people coming in. He can't deal with it. He can't even turn on his computer and answer an email right now. He's in a lot of pain. And so that's why we filtered everybody over to me. And obviously, I was set up to take that. So yeah, but psychiclizcross.com. And of course, the new YouTube channel, which is Psychic Liz Cross. So if you haven't liked and subscribed the new YouTube channel, please do so you don't miss out on any information. We've got a lot of videos coming out. I've got 2 more to publish from yesterday. One is with Mr. Robot, and we looked into crystals and we looked into pyramids and all kinds of stuff. He's a really quirky kind of person. So we have those videos coming out. Got another one of David Oates, and then got videos with Max tomorrow. And then we've got videos all week. So you don't want to miss any information, especially when it comes to the crypto stuff. So yeah, that's about it. I thought today there's something that bothers a lot of people, even if they don't know it, is anxiety. So I thought we could work on anxiety. What do you guys think about that?
I also had that same thought earlier last night. So what I think about on my morning walk is what we'll talk about this morning. And I got that same thing. There's a lot of, everybody feels like they're becoming unraveled and just they're waiting with bated breath for the next 3 months, because what can 2022 still throw at us? And I feel like that's on a lot of people's minds. Just if anybody wants to get in contact with me, my website later this week should be Remote View It. You can follow my technical remote viewing or target reference numbers if you're a professional remote viewer on Reality Forecast Patreon. I post their practice targets for people to do to get their remote viewing skills up. And I also host 6-week courses on learning remote viewing that will be starting up in the next quarter. Anxiety and connection with strength of inner intuition to quell the anxiety. We can also do tapping for George. But yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, you can also email me remoteviewit@gmail.com. I'm happy to answer your questions. I don't have a newsletter up, but that would be a great idea.
Or they can sign up for a newsletter. We can incorporate that, the newsletter on my site. Why not?
We'll get that.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's no problem. What was interesting this weekend? Actually, I did a CTT session for this wonderful, wonderful lady. So sweet. And she's actually quite intuitive, right? And but the problem is there's blocks there. And as we went in, we found out that the fear of surprise, because in a past life, she was something happened. Like 1 minute she's fine and dandy, the next minute, bam, she's dead, right? And that fear of surprise stuck with her through all of these lifetimes. Now I'm going into the in-depth CTT. This is not what we do here, the past life stuff, but I'm going into the in-depth CTT, and the fear of surprise was what was blocking her intuition, right? Because when you remote view, say you give a benign target, Ronan, and you say you do like a landscape, right? And when you're doing a remote view and that you're tuning into that target, well, there could have been a battle there long time ago, right? And that can bleed through in your remote viewing session. That's why crypto viewing got shut down. They got shut down because they did a remote view on some historical site, and they picked up on some events that happened at the site. And then the historical society of the site where they were viewing disputed to Google. This is how petty Google is and YouTube. They disputed to Google and said that's not factually accurate. We have records dating back 400 years. Well, your remote view can go back for thousands of years. And they completely dismissed it, and they got crypto viewing shut down for something like that, right? But anyway, for this lady, what was blocking her was this element of surprise. So if you go in to do a remote view and you get something like a battle, right, that can shock some people, not me, because I used to work for the police, right? But some people, that can shock them. And this element of shock and surprise, this fear, was blocking her. So we removed that fear. So hopefully she'll be on her merry way intuitively. She's really, really sweet. But that's just an example of how anxiety and fear can block you in so many ways, right? In ways you don't even realize. So yeah, I thought we could do anxiety today. So how would you like to start this, Ronan?
Well, I agree. You can pick up on the energy of a site. In my remote viewing training, we have a way to snip that energy so that it doesn't create an attachment for you within the session. So I just believe that we should try to create a better coping mechanism within people so that the anxiety doesn't overwhelm them. So
Okay.
a way to diffuse that, or maybe make something in front of people that won't let them be attracted to or impacted by that anxiety wave.
Well, if somebody's full of self-love, the anxiety doesn't bother them, because when you're full of self-love, you trust the universe, you trust what's coming, you trust your intuition. I really find self-love in the CTT is the basis for everything.
So why don't we work on raising our frequency, attracting self-love and self-appreciation?
Okay, and getting rid of the anxiety. Sounds good. We may have a new person on here at the moment. So Ronan, if you could just explain the tapping, that would be great.
Sure. So what we do with tapping, it's not like the EFT method. You're using your either fingertips on your other side of your shoulder. So your right hand would go to your left shoulder and your left hand would go to your right shoulder. And you're tapping alternatively as you repeat after me or after Liz. So that tapping is just removing and rebalancing the energy within your body.
Okay, yeah, that's right. It's rebalancing the energy, and it's also magnifying your attention, and it's also getting rid of the dark stuff. Okay, let's open. There's a part of all involved that knows how to
There's a part of all involved that knows how to
easily and joyfully manifest
easily and joyfully manifest
an optimum etheric pyramid
an optimum etheric pyramid
for the empowerment and protection of each one of us,
for the empowerment and protection of each one of us,
as well
as
easy
access
to all the information and connections we need
to all the information and connections that we need
for this session.
for this session.
That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
It's doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
It is doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
Our minds, bodies, and spirits are receiving the love.
Our mind, body, and spirits are receiving this love.
Healing, information, permission.
Healing, information, permission.
And deep joy now.
And deep joy now.
So let's take a deep breath. Information transfer is now complete.
Information transfer is now complete.
So be it, it is done.
So be it, it is done.
All right, let's go George Desmond style. Treasures. There's a part of all of us that knows how to
There's a part of all of us that knows how to
easily,
easily,
joyfully,
joyfully,
optimally
optimally
see, recognize, and use
see, recognize, and use
all the treasures
all the treasures
that we have access to
that we have access to
internally and externally.
internally and externally.
That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
It's doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
It is doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
Our minds, bodies, and spirits are receiving the love.
Our mind, body, and spirits are receiving the love.
Healing, information, permission,
Healing, information, permission,
and deep joy now.
and deep joy now.
So let's take a deep breath. Information transfer is now complete.
Information transfer is now complete.
So be it, it is done.
So be it, it is done.
Yes, that is a big George Duzman favorite because there's so many treasures that we have access to, whether it's internally, our internal intuition, or external treasures. But we don't see them, we don't recognize them, we don't use them, and we don't enjoy them, right? So see, recognize, use, and I forgot enjoy. See, recognize, use, and enjoy the treasures in and all around us, because we do have all of the information within us. It's just we have to find it and find the buried treasure, right? And we have to use it. So I really like that tapping round that he has developed. Okay, let's go for the removal. No, let's go for, we want to manifest first. Uh-oh, dizzy. She's feeling dizzy. Oh goodness. Let's go for, we want to manifest. So shall we do an optimum, easily and joyfully manifest an optimum alternative to anxiety? Or how
Not an
would we word
alternative to
that?
anxiety, but a anxiety coping ability.
Very good. All right, let's go. There's a part of all involved that knows how to
There's a part of all involved that knows how to
easily and joyfully manifest.
easily and joyfully manifest
Go ahead, Ronan, fill it in.
my optimum anxiety coping mechanism,
My optimum anxiety coping mechanism,
self-love within myself,
self-love within myself,
self-appreciation,
self-appreciation,
a higher vibrational frequency,
a higher vibrational frequency,
and no more anxiety in my life.
and no more anxiety and fear of the unknown in my life. Very good. That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
A part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
It's doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
It is doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
Our minds, bodies, and spirits are receiving the love.
Our mind, body, and spirits are receiving the love.
Healing, information, permission,
Healing, information, permission,
and deep relief and joy now.
and deep relief and joy now.
So let's take a deep breath. We're going to let spirit give us an alternative to experience that anxiety, a buffer, a coping mechanism. Information transfer is now complete.
Information transfer is now complete.
So be it, it is done.
So be it, it is done.
Okay, so this is the part where when you're doing that, sorry about my voice, when you're doing that round of tapping, okay, when you're getting negatives in that are cropping up during that tapping, you have to let that go. that is your subconscious telling you that we would love to to have a coping mechanism in place and self-love and all this stuff, but you've got so much junk down in there, and these negative belief systems and these negative frames, that are holding up your belief systems, this negative framework, that there's no more room to put in the good stuff. So this is where we have to take out the bad stuff, okay? And this is why when you start the tapping, you have to finish it. Okay. So at this point, if you're listening to this audio and you know you cannot finish this tapping, then please don't go any further, because what we're going to do now is we are going to start removing some negative energy, and then you'll be left with spaces that have not been filled. Okay, because whenever you take energy out, you have to replace it. We are 100% energetic beings, and we have to replace that energy that has been removed with good, like white light, positive things, right? So it's very important that at this point you do not go any further if you cannot finish the entire tapping course. Okay, so what came through to me, and our group will put down in the chat what came through to them. So the negative that came through to me is the anxiety keeps me humble. And I was like, what is spirit saying here? But if the anxiety didn't keep somebody humble, they would be, displaying all sorts of other negative emotions, which are like anger, rage, aggression. That came through very strongly. But when you're filled with anxiety, it keeps your personality in check, right? Because anxiety is really a bad trap. Now, I'm not saying that you should be aggressive and or anything like that, but certainly even our confidence can't shine if we're filled with anxiety. It stills our joy. We can't experience joy in the moment because we're worried about what's coming next, the fear of the unknown. I actually had a friend, my best friend, who had huge anxiety problems, so much so, I'll be honest with you guys, she committed suicide because she could not handle the anxiety anymore. Now, this is long before I knew anything about CTT, right? This is years ago. But she was my best friend. She was like my sister. But extreme anxiety. If you were in the car with her, she's locking all the doors during the day because she's scared somebody's going to get us. I mean, she had this fear of the unknown. She was really, really scared. We went to Disney World, and she wanted to leave before it got dark. I mean, Disney World, for crying out loud. Who's going to get you, Mickey Mouse? But I mean, she had this extreme anxiety, and anxiety can kill you. So let's tap on the negatives that are coming through, the messages I'm getting from spirit, in order to remove and alleviate some of this anxiety. Okay. All right. Anybody else got any negatives? Just drop it in the chat. Ronan, what did you get?
I got the coping mechanism where the buffer is this like a bouncing imagery, and I got this trampoline that you can use to project it back out when it comes at you. So this bouncy image of protecting yourself with a trampoline.
Oh.
I also felt like my third eye was being crushed too, like under a weight. So I think that people have a fear to open up that third eye and are afraid that the information coming through to them will not be something that they can cope with. So it's a
huge
fear of the unknown, but being able to know.
That's huge, because even as a teenager, I would see things out the corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh, don't come near me. Don't talk to me. Don't touch me. Don't talk to me. I'm not gonna look. I'm too scared to look. Right? That's huge. And finally, many years later, I let my guard down. I just finally said, you know what? Let's see what this is about. There's no point being scared of it anymore. So let's remove some of these negatives. All right. There's a part of all involved that knows how to
There's a part of all involved that knows how to
let go and heal.
let go and heal.
My anxiety keeps me humble.
My anxiety keeps me humble.
It's the majority of my personality.
It's the majority of my personality.
I don't know who I am without my anxiety.
I don't know who I am without the anxiety that fills me. Or
Yeah. I'm scared of the unknown.
I am scared and afraid of the unknown.
I'm always waiting for the next disaster.
I'm always waiting for the next disaster.
I cannot cope without my anxiety.
I cannot cope without my anxiety.
My anxiety keeps me safe.
My anxiety keeps me safe.
My anxiety is not a trap.
My anxiety is not a trap.
What else are you getting?
Someone said they feel unworthy of successes.
My anxiety stops me from being successful.
My anxiety stops me from being successful.
It traps me and controls my life.
It traps me and controls my life.
Anything else? It stops me from being angry and aggressive.
It stops me from being angry and aggressive.
It stops me from hurting other people.
It stops me from hurting other people. It
What did you get?
paralyzes me with fear.
It paralyzes me with fear and doubt
And self-hate.
and self-hate. Good job. That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
It's doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
It's doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
Our minds, bodies, and spirits are receiving the love.
Our mind, body, and spirits are receiving the love.
Healing, information, permission,
Healing, information, permission,
and deep relief now.
and deep relief now.
So let's take a deep breath. There's a lot of anger hidden underneath that layer or several layers of anxiety and sadness. Anxiety is the coping mechanism instead of self-love and joy. Information transfer is now complete.
Information transfer is now complete.
So be it, it is done.
So be it, it is done.
Coughing is actually very good. Coughing, hiccuping, unfortunately burping, those are all ways to release energy.
And laughing.
And laughing, yeah. Sorry, I was laughing because I'm like, wow, that must have been a big energy release for you. I felt a profound shift on getting rid of those negatives. So now we're going to go back in and we're going to say, what's left? So I'm still getting lots of anger that is lurking underneath this anxiety. Anger that you have the anxiety, anger that you have to use it to survive, anger that it's destroying your life. What are you guys getting?
A pain in the chest from Dawn Marie.
Uh-oh.
A tightening of the chest or a pain? I got that the only way I get attention is to roll over. And that I'm not to be consumed by other people or the other people's power.
Do explain that. I'm sorry, I'm a bit lost.
So the only coping mechanism I have, somebody feels like, is to be consumed or eaten or beaten in verbal abuse by someone else. And that's their strategy. So they feel like at least someone's getting something out of this, even if I'm not. So that creates another layer of hate and coping within them, that's a negative coping mechanism. Like, oh, that's angry that my
Gotcha.
family is so controlling that I'm easily manipulated. Okay, that's what I was picking up on from Sherry.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Yes, I totally get that. Okay. Well, so let's tap away all of this anger. I can feel a shift already. My third eye is buzzing. Now let me just focus in on Dawn Marie's chest there. And the what I'm getting for you, Dawn Marie, with that tightening in the chest and throat area is like this extreme sadness. And the sadness is I I love my anxiety because it's how I survive. It's almost like a dear friend, like a comfort. And the sadness is I have to let it go. That's huge. Oftentimes these negative things like anxiety, depression, addiction, right? It's how we've survived for so long. It's a close friend, right? It's family. We can't live without it. And when we're saying goodbye to it, that's really painful and hard for us because it's been with us for so long, probably our entire lives. Not addiction, but you know what I mean. Like it's been with us for so long. A lot of times addiction starts in teenage years, by the way. But you know, how we're going to miss it profoundly. We understand it's not serving us well, but we're going to miss it. So it's almost like a grieving period to the emotion, just like we grieve loved ones that are we lose, or breakups. It's a grieving of we are no longer going to have this as a coping mechanism anymore. We'll miss it. And those feelings of we'll miss it, that'll draw it right back in. So anytime you start feeling like you miss that addiction, you miss that anxiety, you miss that depression, you miss that rage and anger, you miss whatever those negatives are, you need to do a round of tapping right then and there to say, I easily and joyfully let go and heal the fact that I missed something that's not serving me well. Think of it as like a bad relationship. You can be in the most toxic relationship possible, right? And what happens? You've just been in this relationship for so long that when it does split, you miss that person. It's like crazy, right? You shouldn't miss them at all. But it's the same thing with these emotions. So let's let that go. And Ronan, if you could do the fill-in on the family and the manipulation, please. Okay. There's a part of all involved that knows how to
There's a part of all involved that knows how to
let go and heal.
let go and heal.
I will miss this anxiety.
I will miss this anxiety.
How will I live without it?
How will I live without it?
It's been a very dear friend to me.
It has been a very dear friend to me.
Sadness has been a dear friend.
Sadness has been a dear friend.
And I don't know if I can live without them.
And I don't know if I can live without them.
Okay, Ronan, you fill in.
Being the punching bag of others.
Listen, honey, you're singing my song now. Being the punching bag of others, verbally, mentally, emotionally, or physically.
Verbally, emotionally, and physically.
Mentally.
Living
Being
my life.
Somebody.
Living my life for other people.
Living my life for other people and not living my life for me.
And not living my life for me.
Very good.
The feeling
What
that
else?
I'm not important.
The feeling that I'm not important. Nobody listens to me.
No one listens to me.
People do not respect me as my own personality.
People do not respect me as my own personality.
They don't appreciate who I am.
They don't appreciate who I am or what I contribute.
What I contribute. They have molded me into what they want me to be.
They have molded me into what they want me to be.
And I'm angry about that.
I'm angry about that.
What else? Nothing else?
I'm getting a lot of things coming up. So I think that was very good.
Okay. Excuse me. That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
It's doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
It is doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
Our minds, bodies, and spirits are receiving the love.
Our mind, bodies, and spirits are receiving the love.
Healing, information, permission,
Healing, information, permission,
and deep relief now.
and deep relief now.
So let's take a deep breath. And we're letting go of all those negative emotions that are attached to the anxiety, the fear. We need it to control us. How can we live without it? We're letting go all of those emotions that keeps the anxiety within us. Information transfer is now complete.
Information transfer is now complete.
So be it, it is done.
So be it, it is done.
Wow. How's everybody feeling now?
I burped a lot during that, so that was good. I tried to maintain my, sense of decency, but 3 times I burped during that.
That means you're letting go. See, the energy, I find it has a pattern. It comes from the solar plexus, right? And then it moves up, and then it'll get stuck in the chest sometimes, or the throat, but ultimately it comes out of the mouth. And that is why I believe that the verbalization, the verbiage is incredibly important, because as we're saying it and tapping at the same time, we're releasing that energy through our words. So I find that it's really profound. So if you're burping, yawning, coughing, laughing, just you're finding yourself like releasing that energy, and it comes out through your mouth. Now my crown is buzzing. My third eye is like spinning and buzzing. How does everybody feel? What's left? What negatives are left?
I got that someone out there, maybe not here, but in listening to this, feels like my life is nothing but a wasteland. There's nothing for me.
That's great. Okay. I mean, not that
Well,
feeling,
it's
but
sad for them, but yeah,
right,
I agree.
right. But that's great that you got that, right? It's not great that you're, teenage wasteland, whatever that song is. But all right. So let's get clear out these negatives, because we haven't hit the bullseye yet. We all know it when we hit the bullseye. We're missing out on the fear of letting go as well. All right, let's go. There's a part of all involved that knows how to.
There's a part of all involved that knows how to
let go and heal.
Let go and heal.
All of this fear.
All of this fear.
Surrounding my anxiety.
Surrounding my anxiety.
That causes me.
That causes me.
To not offload the anxiety.
To not offload this anxiety.
Sadness.
Sadness.
Anger.
Anger.
My life is nothing but a wasteland.
My life is nothing but a wasteland.
I do not want to reincarnate ever again.
I do not want to reincarnate ever again.
I'm not enjoying myself here.
This life is hard, and I'm not enjoying my life here.
It's hard. This is all for nothing.
This is all for nothing.
Why would we be sent down here with no information?
Why would we be sent here with no information?
And instead, we have to find systems to unlock that information from our soul.
And instead, we have to find information systems to unlock that from our soul.
Source has or not source, sorry. Um, because life has been set up this way, we are powerless.
Because life has been set up this way, we are powerless.
We have no idea what we're doing here.
We have no idea what we're doing here.
It's lots of confusion.
It's lots of confusion.
What else?
I can't find my connection to my higher self.
I can't find my connection to my guides or my higher self.
I don't know who I am spiritually.
I don't know who I am spiritually. I can't think for myself. My anxiety thinks for me.
My anxiety thinks for me.
Wow, that was huge. You feel that lift off? All
I
right.
do.
Whew, that was the bullseye. That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
It's doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
It is doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
Our minds, bodies, and spirits are receiving the love.
Our mind, body, and spirits are receiving the love.
Healing, information, permission.
Healing, information, permission.
And deep relief now.
And deep relief now.
So let's take a deep breath. Letting go of the fear, the hatred, anxiety, lack of trust in my life, myself, and the universe. And I'm asking our spirit teams to take that negative energy up into the spirit world, cleanse it, transmute it into white light karma. Now I'm going to ground and protect us. Information transfer is now complete.
Information transfer is now complete.
So be it, it is done.
So be it, it is done.
We finally hit the bullseye. Gosh, how's everybody feeling?
I get a lot of swirling around my stomach area and chest area, which is good. A lot of release, and I felt things drop off from me.
Great. I feel lighter and I feel a sense of euphoria. How does everybody else feel? Turn the lump in my throat to joy. Hallelujah. That's great. Everybody's feeling good. Okay. Do we have anything to add? Holy schmoly, somebody put. Yeah, brighter. Do we have anything we want to add before we close? While we're feeling good, we want to fill back in with good energy. So this is the real important part here. This is why I ask you not to leave. Is there anything else you want to add, Ronan, or anybody else?
I just get that, we can always access that doorway to our higher self, the feeling of love and like adoration, or not adoration, but the feeling of self-love and self-worth and ability to heal ourselves. We can always access that door.
Healing ourselves is self-love. It is. Every time I do a CTT session, it goes back to self-love and self-appreciation. That's right. Okay, well, let's close and we'll add those things in the closing. All right, and then I'll stick around for questions. All right, and you too, Ronan, if that's okay. All right, let's close. There's a part of all involved that know how to.
There's a part of all involved that knows how to.
Easily and joyfully manifest.
Easily and joyfully manifest.
Optimum healing for George Duisman.
Optimum healing for George Duisman.
Optimum guidance.
Optimum guidance.
Optimum insights.
Optimum insights.
Optimum self-love.
Optimum self-love.
Oh, you're yawning. That's good. Optimum appreciation.
Optimum appreciation.
And anything else we need.
And anything else we need.
In all of those wonderful spaces we just opened up.
In all of those wonderful spaces that we just opened up.
That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
That part of our beings are willing to inform the rest of us now.
It's doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
It is doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease.
Our minds, bodies, and spirits are receiving the love,
Our mind, body, and spirits are receiving the love,
healing, information, permission,
healing, information, permission,
and deep joy and relief now.
and deep joy and relief now.
So let's take a deep breath. Or a big yawn or a laugh. Oh, information transfer is now complete.
Information transfer is now complete.
So be it, it is done.
So be it, it is done.
All right. If you want to stop the recording here and I'll take questions, Ronan, if you don't mind taking questions as well.
Thank you, everybody. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful, beautiful month and a great week.